And we are live. So, good evening, everyone. This is Raul. I'm gonna try and help Sham start it on the website one project this evening. How are you doing, Kashim? Sham.
I'm good.
Sham. I always get your name wrong.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. So you're interested in like starting to help us with website one project, huh?
Yeah, it's time.
Have you been working on an agile venture project before? Or this is the first one you'll be starting?
It's the first one.
The first one. Okay. Do you mind like giving me a brief overview of your skills in terms of development and all that?
Yeah, I have like some experience with Ruby, and it's like mostly before this, it's been Java, C++.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Have you worked on some Rails projects before?
Uh, a few.
A few of them. So
Yeah,
you quite familiar with the structure and everything. Shouldn't be a
yeah, like
problem. Okay. Cool. Have you done some testing or something like that?
no, not really,
TDD?
not
Not
much.
really. Okay. So you'll be interested in like furthering your knowledge in that field as well. I assume.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what we do, like the website one project, is currently built using Rails. It's just a plain Rails application, and we using some JavaScript, obviously, and jQuery in the front end for some of the animation and effects there. But other than that, the database is using Postgres in the database. And at the moment we have, I believe, like three. So the way we work is like we have three different servers where we run the application, one for development and one for staging, and the production one, which is the live system itself. Just gonna quickly share my screen and talk you through some of the things. Okay, so I assume have you joined the project here on Agile Venture on the website?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is like join the project and like have a read. Well, I believe you probably read through the description of the project. The project is about this website that we currently visiting now. So it's the source code behind this website. Okay. So like all the features that we need to implement for this website are handled by this project. All right. And the tools we currently, did you manage to, I helped you last time to set up the project, right?
Mm-hmm.
On your laptop. So you have that sorted already, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're using Pivotal Tracker to manage the features for project management on this. And I think I sent you an invite to join the project board as well at some point. So
Yeah, you got that.
did you get that? Okay, cool.
Yep.
So you should have access to this board now, and you should be able to see um, all these features, and like well, we should be able to assign you to one of them or whatever, and then you can start working on them. Have you worked with Pivotal Tracker before?
I have a little bit, but really not much. I
Okay.
know, like,
Do you have any like immediate question that you want me maybe to address in terms of the user interface or something?
yeah, like, what's like Icebox, and what is the Icebox? Is that like just a current list of ongoing projects?
So so for every project, like for this particular project, for instance, the Icebox is just like a big list of features that we have in mind for the project, right? These are all the stuff that we would like to have on the site, at some point. But then they're not sorted, they're not prioritized in any way. Some of them we haven't even voted on them, like we haven't assigned point. like assigning points usually to features is to like determine the difficulty of a particular story and all that, and in order for whoever that's starting the project to, I mean, just that's starting work on the feature, for them to know like what it entails and like how difficult it will be to implement it. Okay, so like these features, for instance, they haven't been prioritized on. So at the moment so they're not ready to start working on right now. And like we usually go through them with the client for the project to sort of like decide, okay, what should we focus on at this stage, and then we sort them by order of priority. And then with the developers involved in the project, we then through a voting system, we assign points to every story. Okay. Now, once every story is like voted on, we can then move them to the backlog, which is what Pivotal Tracker does, is that based on like our previous performance in terms of delivering features, it tries to like estimate how many points we can work on per week, for instance, or per per iteration. Yeah. So it tries to estimate that and groups them. Like you can see now, it tried to say that for the week of the 23rd of December, we can only work on this feature based on what we're able to do in the previous iterations, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, so like only the week of December 23rd, we could work on only that right now.
Well, currently these are like some of the, well, right now, I think that's like the high priority stories we can work on. Okay, but that it doesn't matter really. Like if you are allowed to go through some of the other stories. Okay, because before we even get there, like if you notice, we have like different type of stories. Even the stories with the stars here are feature stories. Okay, some of it, most of the time, it's probably something new that doesn't exist on the site already. Okay, something new that we want to introduce on the website and all that. So those ones are feature stories. Okay, and they will usually have a description like what is the goal for that particular story. What are we trying to achieve with this particular stories? Okay, and in this case, for instance, we this one is the, okay, it says waffle link instead of pivotal tracker. So as a user, when a project uses waffle, I want to be able to set the link to waffle instead of pivotal tracker. So you'll usually get a description for what the feature needs to implement. Okay, and the other type of stories we have are bugs. So these are usually things that we encounter on the website itself, on the current website. And when something breaks, someone will come and report the bug here, and we can look at them and fix them. The third type are chores. Okay, so these ones usually are little tasks that we can do that either will probably not involve a lot of like heavy changes to the website itself, or it's just like administrative, or like, you know, just maintenance tasks that we need to do. Okay, so those are like the main type of stories that you'll commonly find on the pivotal tracker board. So as I was saying earlier on, you're free to go through some of these stories in the backlog, and like if you see something that you feel like you can get started on, feel free to just communicate with me or whatever, and then you can just press the start button on the story, and then you get going with the feature. Okay.
Okay. And the points, they represent like the priority or the difficulty?
They represent the difficulty of the story, of the feature.
So
not
0 would,
not the priority.
okay.
So like this one, for instance, was assigned like a 3-point story. It means like it's a complex thing to do, you know. And you will see most of the time they'll break them in small tasks like this. Okay, so like you need to do this one, this one, this one. Often you'll find that a story like this can even be broken down into like small feature stories as well, that you'll find spread across the board. Okay, so the this one is you have a 2-point story here, for instance. Yeah, the 1 points are usually like very easy to do, you know, like super easy stuff to do. It usually involve maybe a change just on the front end. No complex changes no changes involving in the back end, or no new what you call gem or something that I mean, it's a 1-point story will usually not have like a significant amount of change attached to it. Okay, if I'm making sense now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's like roughly the flow around here. I don't know if you have any question so far.
Yeah. So I would just like click start and start doing it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll quickly go through. I think I saw a story, a very easy one earlier on. I'll just take that as an example, just to show you the workflow. Like, how do you start on a feature story, and how do you go about working on the feature, and then submitting a pull request later on to the project. Okay, just to kind of like illustrate the basic workflow of the project. All right, but then if you look at these stories right now, I think maybe let's just go through some of them and see if there's one that you could potentially have a look at, you know, maybe starting tomorrow or something. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So, okay, since you're beginning, I would say maybe just get on with just a bug fix, maybe, or a chore, you know, something that will like help you get familiar with the code base and all that, you know, before you actually start implementing a new feature, you know, start to work on a new feature on your own. Okay, so I would suggest we look at the bugs here, and see if we can find something that you can look at for a first time, just to get your head around the project. All right. So this one here says project descriptions not taking into account the GitHub repository. Okay, so when you visit oh yeah, I was reading through this earlier on. So if you noticed on the project, so what we do here is, like, in the project listing, you will have so you get the project name, and then the number of contributors on the project, how many documents we currently have on this project, and like we try to pull the number of commits on this project from GitHub. Okay, and then we display all the information there. Now, this particular bug entry was filed by one of the project lead on the Med Plus. Their concern is that it seems to not take into account the fact that they have some commits in their repositories. For some reason, it's not picking up that. Okay, so, and if you go to their repository, you'll see that they actually have like 300 commit already pushed to their repository. So this is what this bug is about, trying to figure out why is it not showing the correct number of commits on some of the project, and try to fix that. Okay. So the next one, okay, so this is more of a formatting issue. Where is that? Would be nice for formatting to be fixed in members box. Long country names are not wrapping nicely, and we have an image attached to that. Okay. So the one problem we have is like, this is fine, but then as soon as we have a long name, it wraps the whole thing in a new line, and it's not so good looking. Okay. So if you would like to play with front end stuff, maybe this is something you can have a look at. Okay.
Yeah, it seems like a good place to start off.
Yeah. Pivotal tracker URL validator bug. Okay, so this one, I'm not sure. Okay, it says not sure who should notify here, but this. Okay, if you create a pivotal account, then try to add to Agile Venture project, it currently says that URL is invalid. I looked up the test case currently being used to see why it. Okay, and it expects a format like so with an S here. But Pivotal Tracker gave me a link with N rather than an S. So go around that, just replace the N to that, and okay. So when somebody creates a project, okay, this one is not linked to a Pivotal Tracker. All right, let's go to website 1. Do I have access to project? Okay, project action. Edit project details. Okay, so when you edit the project details, you can, like, if your project is using Pivotal Tracker, you can add a link to the project tracker board here. Okay, now looks like over the time Pivotal Tracker updated their API to have a different link or something. So now the link is generated with an N. We look here, yeah. So with an N instead of an S. Okay, and we have tests in place that checks for the format of this link, and apparently it's looking for a link that has an S in it. Okay, but then the new link don't have it. Now in one of the comments here, the guy is actually saying it got around it by changing N to S so that Agile Venture would accept it, and Pivotal Tracker will actually, if you take the link with the old format that uses an S and you paste it there, they will actually convert that link. I mean, it will be redirected to the new one which uses an N. Okay, so this bug here, we need to fix the URL validator that we're currently using to take into the account the change in the URL, for instance. So if you would like to work on this, you can just follow up on some of the conversation that happened here and try and figure out if you can find a way around it and get something going here. But this should be a relatively easy thing to fix as well. Okay. So yeah, you can have a look at that. Let's see, not this one. Yeah, that one is not so urgent right now. Working and non-working. No, that was assigned to Simpriti. Okay. Okay. Not sure what's going on in this one. Okay, here's a feature. I don't know if someone started working on this thing. Accept Jira, Waffle, and links in project. Okay. Okay, this is a feature. Let's not look at it for now.
Wait,
Okay, yeah.
I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. Okay.
Cool. No worries. In fact, we'll discuss taste. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, cool. Right. So you can go through the rest of the stories. Just read through them in the backlog and see if that's something. Okay, this one should move back here because we haven't voted on that yet. Just see if there's one story that that you think you can start working on, something small, not too complex, just to get your feet off the ground. There are other stories like here, for instance, they're more about refactoring some of the existing tests we have. So for testing, we're using RSpec. Have you used RSpec before? You said no.
No.
Okay. So yeah, so these stories were more about refactoring those tests. Okay, so I think maybe. Did you by any chance take the CS169 course on building software as a service?
Yeah, I've taken like parts of it.
Mm-hmm. And are you currently registered for it, or you did it in the past?
Yeah, I'm registered for it right now.
At the moment, okay. Were you able to like tackle some of the assignments where you had to do some testing?
I like really didn't do much of that, but I can like go back to it and figure it out if
Okay.
that's
Because that will be very helpful to have an idea about like the whole test-driven development process and behavior-driven development. Because there you'll learn about tools like RSpec and Cucumber, which are some of the testing tools we're using right now on this project. If it could help, I can also have a look at some resources. If you remind me, maybe tomorrow I can have a look at some resources, that I can send you, and you'll have a look at them to sort of like get an idea of what's going on with the whole testing thingy. But yeah, the CS1919169 is a good place to get started already with some of that. Okay. So you can, if you have time, just at least go through the videos, the related videos on that, and yeah, right.
Okay.
But then in that case, then maybe you can have a look at some of the simpler story that doesn't involve maybe testing for now, like quick UI changes or something like that. I'm sure there's a lot of those in this backlog that you can find. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So there is a quick tool that I can use right now to just sort of like show you the whole process about starting a feature and working and submitting a pull request on that. Okay, so this one it's just about renaming some of the SAS file, because when we're running our test, we get this deprecation warning message that says that so in Rails, the SAS files, let me just see if I can find that. Real Ventures website. No. That's it. Star sheets. So the star sheets are named usually, well, they used to be named like so, with a .css and the SAS extension file. But now with the latest version of SAS Rails, you don't have to put the CSS in the file name. That's why I generate these warning messages. So like to fix this, you just have we just need to rename the file to remove the CSS bit of the name. So this is like a rather simple thing to do, and I'm just going to use this right now to quickly show you the whole process. Okay, so when you identify a story that you want to work on, first of all, you need to check that the story is not assigned to someone. This one, for instance, it used to be assigned to Piotr, but he didn't work. He hasn't been updating this for the past, what now? It's been a long time. Well, since April, we didn't hear anything from that. So I can actually remove him here. So I'm just going to remove him. Okay. So if a story is assigned to someone like this one, and you're interested in working in that story, you can quickly drop a message to the person right here in Pivotal Tracker and figure out if the person is still working on it, and like if you can set up some time to have a look at it together or something. Okay. But then if like you fail to reach the person, just let me know. I'll see if maybe the person is still working on it, then I'll try and get a hold of them. Or maybe I'll just like reassign the story to yourself if like it's been a long time since the person worked on it. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, but like the first thing you need to do is story shouldn't be assigned to anyone. First thing. Now, when you look at that, then you're ready to start. You just like push the start button here. Okay. And as soon as you click the start button, it moves the story, like you can see here in the current list. So these are all the stories that the developers in the team are currently working on. At least someone is working on this one, and this one, and this one, and so on. Okay. So it moves it this side. And what you need to do next is back in your development machine, you need to go to like your project folder and okay. By the way, the G is just an alias for Git on my terminal. Git. So the first thing you need to do is make sure that you have the latest from upstream. And the way you do that is by doing a git fetch upstream. So that will pull any, it will grab any recent changes to the project from the upstream repository. So a quick thing on that, I think I did explain some of it last time. You did I? But it's fine. We can quickly go through them again. As you can see here, I have like on my remote repositories, I have like 3 of them. But like the most important one would be origin, which is currently pointing to my fork of website 1. Okay. And then you get upstream. I beg your pardon?
I think your screen's like frozen. I can't see any changes.
Is my screen frozen?
Oh, it's good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I was saying is that these are like the 2 main important remote repositories that you need to have. So origin should point to like your fork of the repository, okay? And upstream should point to the main repository on Agile Venture profile, right? So you should have that, and you should always make sure that your develop branch is up to date with upstream. At the moment, mine is. So what I need to do before I start working on the feature is I need to like create a new branch for that feature story. Okay. And I think most of this should be documented, if I'm not mistaken. If we go to the wiki, project workflow, project coordination outline. Okay. Yeah. So this is all explained here in this page here. So if you need some reference later on, you can have a look at this wiki. I'll send you a link to that now, just to get a sense of like everything that I'm gonna do right now. Okay. Website 1 and 2 project workflow. Okay. So I need to start off with a new branch. So I'm just gonna do a branch -b. What is the feature we're working on again?
The SAS
application warning. Okay. Okay, you can name it whatever you want. Doesn't have to be this long. Look, so it's supposed to be git checkout. Okay. So when you do this, the first thing you need to do before you do anything is run bundle exec rake. What this command will do is it will run all the tests and make sure that everything is passing. Okay, but I'm not gonna do that now because it takes so long to run the test, and yeah. But it's always a good idea before you start working to have a run at that, at least to know at the end of your feature that you didn't break anything from the previous existing code, you know, that everything is still in place the way it should be. That's why we have the test in place. That's why we use testing, because like when you make changes, your changes should not affect whatever was working previously. Okay, and the tests are there to like ensure that. Okay, so you always want to at least have this run once before you start working, and always before you submit a pull request, you need to make sure that all of the tests are passing. Okay, fine. There are like around, I think, one or two tests that are usually failing locally. So if ever you run one of these tests and like one is failing, just let me know which one, and yeah, I'll tell you whether to ignore it or not. Okay. Yeah, and one of the things we try to do most of the time with projects is we try to work in pair most of the time. But then, like, as you can see with the time differences and all that, it's not always easy to find a pairing partner. You know, we've been trying for like about 2 weeks now to get this session running, and only today we managed to get that. So it's not always going to be possible, but like at least when you want to start working on something and you're looking to pair with someone, just you just go to the project page on the website, and if you join the project, you should have the start the hangout thingy button available, and you just click on that and it will start the hangout session just like the one we're currently in now. Okay. And what it will do is it will post a notification, as you can see on the Slack channel, so that if anyone is available to join you in the session, they can just click on the link, and you know you can both work on the feature. Okay, so that's how you start the hangout. If you ever need to start a hangout to pair with someone, this is the way to do it. All right, now back to this. So I'm just gonna skip this for now, and like this story all had to do really was to rename these files. I'm just gonna open them here. Okay, I actually started this like a long time ago, but so I'm just gonna rename these and like remove those that portion of the name. Let's that. Yeah, stories are not always gonna be this easy. But at least it's a good quick thing to kind of like show you some of the bits and pieces of this workflow. So we do that. Please not no. Okay, rename this. Okay. Okay, that one is sorted. Okay. Looks like all of it was dealt with. And I remember I'm the one who reported this bug, so I just want to see the build log where I grabbed that from. I could run that. Oh, I guess I can just run that again. Yeah. Cucumber characters. Yeah, I was getting those warning messages while running the cucumber test. Let's see if they gone. Passing string again. Okay, that's something else we need to look at. Okay. So these what you're seeing now is like so those are like acceptance tests we write using Cucumber. What they are is like we define scenarios, I mean use case scenario for all the feature that we have on the website. For instance, this one, where for every feature we define what the feature is doing, and then we define like a series of tests for a series of features and step definition for those features, you know. Let me show you here. So with the BDD cycle, when we take on a feature, before we start implementing it, we need to write these scenarios. So here, here's my font. Whoa, that's too big. So if you read these scenarios, you'll see that these are stuff that a user would normally do when they visit the page to let's say, let me see if I can find a simpler one. Okay, so the scenario says, for instance, this feature says, as a developer, so that I may share or retrieve knowledge between the Agile Venture Group, I would like to be able to create, read, and update special documents in the guide section. Okay, so we define scenarios which are like stuff that this particular user would do in order to achieve the goal that has been defined here. Okay, so with this particular scenario, we're saying that there should be a link to articles page on the nav bar. And how do we check that? We say, you'll notice that most of this reads like English, and this is the beauty of Cucumber, is that you can write all of these in plain text, and they have a set of they have a way to like translate this into actual code that runs in order to test like your web page to make sure that whatever you've defined here in plain English is actually implemented and is working correctly. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like this one, for instance, says like, given I'm on the home page, then I should see articles within the navigation bar. When I click articles within the navigation bar, then I should be on the article page. You can see that these are like simple steps that a user would do if they were visiting the website and were trying to do this. You know, they would need to be on the home page, and they should be able to see those article links, and they should be able to click on it and see that page. You know, So we define these for every scenario and every feature we try to implement on the website. So this is the starting point of every feature. You start by writing the Cucumber scenario for that feature, okay, and then obviously when you write this and you run your test, they're gonna fail, you know, and once they fail, you start now guiding yourself with the error message that you get with every failure. You will then try and implement the minimum solution that is going to make the test pass, and then you move on like that until you get the entire story completely green, if that kind of makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So these are like all the features that have been implemented on the project at this stage. And this is where I was getting the warning messages that I told you about. Okay, this one is failing. We'll look at that. Okay. Right, so that seems about right. But then now this guy's failing. Why? Okay, remember I mentioned that there's usually one or two features that will fail. I know that for some reason this one on the project feature will always fail locally on your local computer. So this is one of the story that you shouldn't worry about. If ever it fails on your local computer, you can ignore it. Okay. And this shouldn't fail. So let's see. Oh. I should see text. Okay. Expected to find text in end expression. Oh. Okay, so what is the story about? As a member of Agile Venture, so that I can see all video related to a project, I would like to see a list of video on that project. Expected to find text. Okay. Let's see that. I should see latest view. That's fine. There we go. Oh, okay. Okay, I think this is linked to my time zone or something like that. Maybe not. Anyway, so I'm just gonna Let me make sure that our spec is fine, that I didn't break anything. Okay. Okay. Right. This is fine. Okay. So looks like the warning messages. I haven't seen any other warning with the SAS message, so that's fine. Yeah, that. Yeah, it's gone. Okay. So these are the messages that I was trying to get rid of. It appears we're not getting any of that anymore. So technically, renaming those fixed the problem. Okay. We don't have any of those duplication warnings. Okay, cool. So once you believe you fixed the problem that you had, what you need to do is like, I mean, as you're working through this, you obviously need to do you need to commit your work all the time. You know, not to make sure that you don't lose any work. So, but because I'm done with this, I'm just gonna commit this one. Commit the changes that I've made to the asset folder. So that's gonna be, I'm just gonna add the app asset starships. Shows that I renamed all those files from that to that. That's fine. And I can commit this to saying CSS install to recreate. That's a super it's fine. Okay. Now, before we push this up to the repository, we need to make sure that everything is all green. So the way you do that, you just do a bundle exec. So this will run all the tests on the project. Okay, just to make sure that everything is still fine, because all the changes that I made now didn't involve changing. I didn't add new tests. I didn't add like a specific feature to this. I just renamed certain files on the project. So it shouldn't have broken anything on the project. Everything should go green right now. So before you push, when you're done working on your feature, before you actually push it up, you need to make sure that all the existing tests are still passing. Because when you submit your pull request, that's the first thing I will have to check before I merge it. And I need to make sure that everything is passing before I merge your testing. Okay. If there's anything, like if I'm maybe going too fast on this, feel free to stop me.
That's fine.
And, yeah, cool. So just to show you an example, this guy here, for instance, Brian, he submitted this pull request I think it was last week. But I haven't finished it yet because, yeah, some of the tests failed on this thing. Okay, so we have a continuous integration system in place with all of this. When someone submits a pull request to the repository on GitHub, we're using Semaphore. So Semaphore would pull that and run all the tests for us, then give us a report back on GitHub. You know that the red cross that you see here is a build report from Semaphore, and that indicates whether, if everything passes, it's going to be a green one. You know, when I see that, it means like, okay, fine, whatever you did didn't. Hopefully, well, it's a safe check for me to say, okay, nothing is broken. I can go through that. But then the next thing I need to do is also go through your code changes and like review the changes that you made and just make sure that they all make sense and, like, you know, that they all necessary before I actually go ahead and merge. And not only me, like all the developers working on the group have to, at least 2 or 3 of them have to like come and do some review. If someone has a comment, they can just submit their comment, and you know, the developer that was working on the particular feature can, you know, like has to read through the comments, and you know, we take a discussion. If there's something that needs to be changed, we change it. If it's all good, then the pull request is merged, and then we then publish it to the production server. So that's kind of like the usual workflow with this. All right, so something just failed now. Okay, sign rendered started. Okay, this is because of my time zone, so it shouldn't be a problem. So this one failure I was told is related to the time zone I'm currently running on. So it shouldn't be an issue on the, what you call, on the continuous integration on Semaphore. It shouldn't be an issue. So I'll ignore that for now, and we'll see if I'm right or wrong. I haven't worked on this in a while, so I'm not sure what's broken or what's still working. The project has been dormant for some time now. we haven't introduced any new features. Okay, this looks like it's okay. Aha. Check this thing. Okay. Developer and wish to collaborate on the story should communicate with the story owner, request program session. Key to fetch upstream. Okay, so when the story is complete, always, okay, cool. So you run all the tests. You know, this is exactly what I was telling you early on, that when you finish your story, you need to go through all these steps. So first thing you need to do is, the reason I skipped this test is because I know nobody submitted any changes to the repository from the time I started working on the feature till the time I was done with it. Okay, but usually you want to make sure that you have everything from upstream as well. Then you make sure that all the tests are running, and then you create the pull request. I'll show you now how the pull request thing is created. It's relatively simple. Okay, I'm thinking this one is also linked to time. I'll see it now. This always fails locally. Okay, so create the pull request in main repository. Okay, and deploy if necessary. So the reviewers can view the changes on the live side. Okay, cool. When the pull request is submitted, the story enters discussion stage. What I was explaining now, where other members and story owners will review the code and collaborate to improve the implementation through comments. Right. So this is exactly what I was explaining now through this. Like you can see here, we have a couple of exchange about his pull request, and yeah. Then when pull requesters reach a consensus between other member, then the project or technical lead will merge the story. Okay. Right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and push this. So once you're happy with the test, everything is passing, you're done with the feature, and you've committed everything. You need now to push this to origin, which is your fork of the repository. No one is allowed to make a direct push to upstream. Okay, so you push this to origin. Then you go back to GitHub. Okay. Right. Your profile. If I go to my profile website one. Okay, so it tells me that I just submitted a new branch, remove size deprecation warning, and it's asking me if I want to compare and create a pull request, which is exactly what I want to do right now. But then if you don't get, if for any reason you don't get this notification here, you can always see this button here, new pull request. Okay, So you just click on that, then that will take you to this new page where you need to select the base fork, which always points to Agile Venture Website 1 Develop, and then your head fork should be your repository, and then you select the branch, the feature branch you just pushed now. Okay. Right. So it shows you like the changes that you've made. If you're happy with it, you click create pull request. All right. Now here you need to leave a comment as to why you had to do this. Usually the comment consists of you need to come here on Pivotal Tracker. Okay. Then you grab the link to the story you were working on, and then you, in your comment for your pull request, you need to say this is the Pivotal Tracker story. This is so that whoever reviews the story can like refer back to the feature on Pivotal Tracker to get a sense of why this change was needed, you know. This was done to this will remove warnings related to style sheet files and text outputs. So you give a brief description of that, of what you did in this pull request, and then you put in the link to the Pivotal Tracker story. So then you create the pull request. Again, you need to make sure that this points to Agile Venture Website 1 base develop, and then this one should be your repository, your Website 1 repository, and your feature branch. Okay. Now once you're happy with that, you just create the pull request. Right. You'll notice that as soon as you create the pull request, oops, let me just edit this. So if I refresh this, you'll notice the semaphore picked up that I just committed this, and it's currently building the project for me. So it's gonna build the project and run all the tests. I'm just gonna quickly show you that here. You see it's currently building that, right? So when a developer submits a pull request to the repository like that, me as a project lead or the technical lead of the project will have to then come and like review that. I'll have to wait for Semaphore to finish the build and make sure that everything is passing before I then move on to merging the pull request. So that's kind of like roughly the process we take when we need to work on a new feature and submit a pull request to the project.
Okay, yeah, I think I got most of it.
Yeah. So the nice thing about it is like this session is recorded, so if at any time you need to like review something, you can always rewatch the recording, and try and if you miss something when I was working because I was probably fast or something, you can just go back and review that, or you can just like just drop a quick question in the Slack channel if you're stuck on something, and yeah, I'll try and respond as soon as possible to you. Okay. Yeah.
Where could I like find the recording if I wanted to like go through it again?
So a few things. When I start the when I start a pairing session, you will see that in the general thing, it posts the link to the Hangout. Okay. And then below it, you have a YouTube link, a video live stream of the YouTube on YouTube. Okay. So this link here will be the link to your recording. If you click here now, it will take you to that video and you can watch it. So at the moment it's still live, so it's probably gonna jump to me talking. So this link here will be the link to your recording. Okay. So that's the link there. Right. So I'm just gonna let Semaphore build this, and yeah, let me know when are you usually available during the week? Because I'm thinking of like we used to have developer meetings, like meeting with all developers involved in this project. It used to be on Fridays, if I remember correctly. But then we would normally have Scrum meetings every day, mostly because like the project was mainly active. We had like a lot of developer working on this to kind of check progress on who's doing what, and if is anyone stuck on something, we can maybe schedule a pair programming session to unblock the person. So I was wondering when are you usually available during the week, you know, so that I can potentially schedule a meeting or something like that. Because I know there's another guy, Nikita, who is interested in working on this project. So yeah.
Yeah, I could probably do let's see, Thursday 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Yeah.
So 11, that's 11 EST, right? Okay. Until 4 p.m.
Yeah, Friday would be the same thing.
Okay. So that Thursday and Friday, this time frame. Okay, cool. I think this will, so Thursday and Friday, right? Okay, I'll take note of that, and then I'll create new events on the website. I think I'll probably schedule. I'll speak with Nikita during the week and figure out when it's okay for him to meet. Then maybe I can schedule developer meetings on Thursday or potentially Friday. And yeah, let's hopefully we get something going. And okay.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. So I don't think you usually be available to attend Scrum meetings in the morning with us. Well, morning my time. But if you're interested in joining in a Scrum meeting in your time zone, there is one that runs, I think the Pacific Rim. Yep, this one here. So yeah, this one runs like late for me. 22, that's like midnight my time. So it's probably usually around 4 p.m. your time.
And which days is that?
So it's I think they host it every day of the week.
Okay, yeah, I could probably do like some days.
Sundays, not so much. I don't think so.
No, like some days.
Okay. Oh, you mean you can attend some days during the week? Okay. Cool. No stress. But yeah, I'll try and schedule the dev meetings and for website 1 on Thursday or Friday, but I'll let you know. I'll let you know as soon as I do that. I need to speak with Nikita first, because like you guys are at the moment the only 2 developers I have on this project. So
Okay.
yeah, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So looks like I have a failure here. All right. I think I'll have a look at this tomorrow. Need to cut this session now. For now.
All right. Bye.
Cool. You have any other question maybe that I need to address before we split up today?
No, none that I can think of.
So you're all good for now.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Well, it was great working with you today. Hopefully you can set up something during the week. Do have a look at these features as we talked about earlier on, and let me know if you decide whether it's tomorrow or something on what story you think you can work on. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. One last thing before we move on. So when you submit your pull request, you need to do one last thing, is to take the link of your pull request. You come back to Pivotal Tracker, and you also update this here to say this is where I submitted my pull request. And you add that there, and then you say finish. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah. So I think that's all for today. So I'll keep you posted on the Slack channel on any developments on this. Okay.
All right. See you.
Cool. You have a good end of day there. It's almost late my side.
Yeah.
Ciao. Peace.
Bye.